Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we try to talk to people from across the country about things you could do right here in New Mexico. And on this week's show, we got this.
If you're feeling frazzled, remember your pet is a natural stress reliever.
And the ADs on the set were calling me 10-1, had given me this nickname, which 10-1 is code for your actor has gone to the bathroom.
We're super proud to announce that MotorTrend's 2025 Car of the Year is...
All of that and more right here on New Mexico Rising.
We have some exciting news to share today. MotorTrend is revealing its 2025 Car of the Year right here on our show. Joining us to announce the winner and tell us what makes it so special is Miguel Cortina, editor at MotorTrend. Plus, he's got some tips to help you save big this holiday season. Welcome, Miguel.
Hey, it's great to be here with you.
Let's hear it. What is MotorTrend's Car of the Year for 2025 and why was it chosen?
Yeah, we're super proud to announce that MotorTrend's 2025 Car of the Year is the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. This is a fantastic luxury sedan. Space for 5 people. It's available both as a sedan and as a wagon as well. So if you need that extra trunk space, you have it. It has you covered. And this is a car that really stands out for its design. I mean, just look at it. Really pristine, very luxurious from every angle, very modern and very contemporary. And then you sit in that interior and you have a lot of technology. You know, it's spacious. You have this huge screen that you can see, covers the entire length of the dashboard. A lot of technology right there. And everybody riding in this interior is going to be treated with luxury, with class, and it's going to be feeling very, very special. So, for those reasons and more, the E-Class is our winner, our Car of the Year winner. Yeah, I'm super happy with it. What do you think? Do you like it?
I love it. And what's your favorite thing about this car?
Yeah, my favorite thing, I think it has to be the ride quality. You know, it's buttery smooth. Here in Los Angeles, our roads are not very well maintained. And so it doesn't matter if you drive over bumps, over ruts, over broken pavement. This car is going to keep the body very settled. And most importantly, it's going to keep every passenger inside super comfortable. This is a car that delivers that kind of ride quality, you know, a level above anything else, above its class. And so anybody riding in here is going to really notice that.
And for anyone thinking about buying a new car, do you have any advice on finding the best deals this holiday season? Yeah,
this holiday season, you know, it's a moment where we're some leftover 2024's models are still on the lots while the new 2025s are coming in. And so if you head over to MotorTrend.com, you know, you have the marketplace that you can see here with all of the listings, you know, anywhere from Albuquerque all the way here to LA. You'll find those right there for both new and used cars. You can see the mileage that they have, the price, you know, the Carfax reports in case if it's a used car. And if it's a new car, we're going to have all those deals also available on MotorTrend.com/cars. Our buyer's guide team does a great job composing all of these holiday deals. So you can look up for the kind of car you're looking for, the segment you're interested in, or if you are not really sure what kind of car you should get, we have Car Match, which is this application that you can use and kind of like answer some questions, and we'll guide you to what is the best car for you to choose.
And what trends are you noticing at this year's market?
You know, SUVs are super popular, and both hybrids and electric are also super popular. So we're noticing, you know, family cars such as Honda CR-V Hybrid, Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, those are very popular. And new players like the Kia Sportage or Hyundai Tucson, you know, those available also with a hybrid engine or plug-in hybrid are very popular.
And where can our viewers go to find more information about the winner?
Yeah, anything is available on MotorTrend.com. We have information on the E-Class, our Car of the Year winner, but also SUV of the Year, the Lincoln Nautilus that was announced a couple of weeks back. And next week, we're announcing our Truck of the Year. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Miguel, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
The holiday season is officially here, and while we're busy shopping for friends and family, we gotta not forget our little pets. So joining us today to share some great gift ideas and tips for taking care of our furry friends is pet living expert Kristin Levine, author of Pampered Pets on a Budget and founder of Pet Living Blog. Welcome, Kristin. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Dan, for having me.
All right. You know the holidays can be hectic. How can we make sure our pets feel special and pretty much cared for throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, well, our pets find the holiday season to be overwhelming, just like we do. I mean, their routines are typically off. There's extra visitors in the home. So there's 3 things you can do to help them get through the season. And that would be, number 1, try to maintain their normal schedule as much as possible. Also, create a quiet space for them in the home where they can get away from it all. And lastly, this is a good one for you too, is to just make sure you spend some quality time together each day to decompress and be ready for the next busy, crazy day the next day.
So what's like an essential tip for keeping our pets happy and healthy pretty much this time of year?
Yeah, well, this time of year, it's we're all so busy, so I need convenience, but I also want quality. And so I'm telling everyone that PetSmart is the one-stop holiday destination for pets this season. Every single thing you could possibly need as a pet parent to include your pets in the holidays is there, and all at a really incredible value. So, for example, they've got this Merry and Bright collection with a lot of gifts under $5. And they have Christmas and Hanukkah plush toys for dogs. And we didn't forget about the kitties. We've got elf and mice toys for them. And there's even a collection called Chance and Friends, where a portion of those proceeds support PetSmart charities, which, as we know, PetSmart charities helps to get so many animals adopted every year. And if your pet is something different, like the guinea pig we just saw, or maybe a fish or a bird, PetSmart has you covered there too.
Is there like one gift that every pet owner should probably consider? If so, what would that be?
Yeah, well, if you ask my dog, Tulip, she would say food, something yummy for the tummy. So I'm encouraging folks to treat your pet to something special this season with Nutrish. They make high-quality dog food and cat food, but they also make treats and meal toppers, which could be great stocking stuffers. They're made with premium ingredients with functional benefits, and for example, their whole health blend dog food and the Soup Bones dog chews my dog particularly loves. And I like them because they're made with real chicken and veggies, so you get those essential nutrients to support your pet's health. And Nutrish donates a portion of proceeds to the Rachel Ray Foundation. As you know, Rachel Ray founded Nutrish many years ago.
Do you have a unique gift idea for some of the pet lovers in our vibe?
Yes, I do. And you're going to love this one because it's a great price point, so you can get one for all the pet lovers on your list. BedSure wearable blankets are all about comfort and great value. They're cozy and warm, they're practical, and they're blankets that you wear for around $30 each. So really great price. They're designed with pet lovers in mind. They've got a cute printed hooded blanket that's made with ultra soft fabric, so you're gonna stay warm and cozy, but you're not gonna overheat. So I just think this is a perfect gift to give someone so they can curl up on the couch with their kitty, or maybe take the dog for a walk outside when it's chilly. But BedSure, these blankets are going to make sure that any pet lover on your list is very happy.
Any other recommendations for making the season brighter for our pets?
Yeah, well, I would just give you a last tip, because this is going to be great for your pet and for yourself. If you're feeling frazzled, remember your pet is a natural stress reliever. So carve out some time to pet them, play with them, snuggle with them. Their mere presence can really help us reduce our blood pressure and our anxiety levels. So I think both our pets and we can really use that kind of benefit this holiday season.
Baby cats, come on over. I need to lower my blood pressure and my, that's not working. It's a cat. He's staring at me. All right, where can people go for more information?
Yep, just visit tipsontv.com.
Kristin Levine, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Dan.
Cybercrime is on the rise, and the latest report from Experian reveals some surprising predictions. Everything from teen hackers to AI-driven threats. Michael Bruemmer, Vice President at Experian, is here to explain what we need to watch out for and how to stay safe. Welcome, Michael.
Thanks for having me, Abby.
What are the biggest surprises from this year's data breach industry's forecast?
Well, we made 5 predictions. The 2 that I point out, first one is it smells like a teen secret, and that is only saying that the FBI now realizes that more hackers are teenagers. 19 years old is the average age of a hacker versus 37 years old for all other crimes, and that 55% of people ages 14 to 22 are actually very experienced with AI. So the teens are being recruited on the chat rooms, gaming platforms, off the dark web. They're being supplied with AI, and they're taking an active role in hacking. In fact, Three of the largest gangs, Lapsus, Scattered Spider, and Anonymous, are purported to be run by teens. The other prediction that I like is the power-hungry data centers. So we've had, in the past 18 months, a lot of supply chain breaches going on in the industry. And the ultimate supply chain are these data centers that have to power AI. An AI search is 10 times more likely to consume power than a regular Google search, or consumes 10 times more electricity. And with the need to build more of these data centers, like 160% growth over the next 5 years, and then in Texas here to double the amount of data centers from 342 to double that by 2050, there's going to be a pinch point where hackers can attack those electrical supplies going to the data centers or the data centers themselves.
And why are employees being seen as an increasing threat to cybersecurity?
Well, insider fraud is caused in 51% of the circumstances, and employees are also in their own companies being given not only access to AI, but the training on how to use it. So when you have the opportunity to commit fraud inside an organization as a trusted individual, there's a big opportunity to have more bad things happen. And that, combined with the fact that 41% of the people in the C-suite don't understand the risk of AI, but they're empowering employees with this new tool.
And how can we protect ourselves?
The most important thing as a consumer is don't click on any links, whether they be text or emails. Don't answer any phone calls from people that you don't suspect you're getting a phone call from. Use two-factor authentication, encryption, as well as a VPN on any of your devices. Never to use public Wi-Fi. And then I'm a big fan of using a password manager that will store all your passwords in the cloud with only the need to remember one master password. And more importantly, it will auto-generate long and complex passwords so that you don't reuse them with your financial and your sensitive sites that you're shopping on.
And for more resources and information, where can our viewers go?
Experian.com is your one-stop resource, not only to read more about the predictions, but also to go ahead and get consumer tips on what to avoid, especially this time of year with scams being prevalent. And then also, if you do think you're suffering identity theft, you can get the steps to take on our website at Experian.com.
Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
So we're expecting record-setting holiday spending this season, but consumers are looking for good value for their money. So instead of generic department stores or online sites, what about One Stop, trying to promise a diverse range of unique and practical gifts for everyone in this family? Well, here's more.
Holiday shopping often revolves around kids, and Tractor Supply's Charles Moon has some ideas to help us with those wish lists.
So these are my favorites, so I always make sure to test them out every time that they show up, because I've got 2 kids of my own. But some of those are going to be those vintage and classic toys that you've seen before, like the Spirograph, some of those cat dump trucks that you pushed around for all those years. And then also we've got the 12-volt kids zero-turn ride-on toy. So that way the kids can be out there with you in the yard and having fun and helping out.
Western wear is a big trend in women's fashion, as Tractor Supply's Marty Skold Jordan demonstrates.
We've got these really darling Delilah Ariat boots. They've got beautiful stitching on the side, cream on the top of one pair. Another pair has more of a burgundy. I'm wearing a Wrangler shirt inspired by Lainey Wilson. It's got vintage hardware on it, and of course the snaps, and a really comfortable weight, so you can wear it many seasons.
Find gifts for the whole family at TractorSupply.com.
Heart disease is a leading cause of death in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Research shows that we can prevent most cases by managing risk factors like cholesterol. Joining us today to explain how are Catherine Wilemon, founder of the Family Heart Foundation, and their Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Larry Sperling. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Abby.
Hi there.
Dr. Sperling, how is heart disease affecting people in the U.S.?
Heart disease affects most families in our nation. We know that most Americans are at risk for heart disease and stroke. I'm a preventive cardiologist, and I've dedicated my career to heart disease prevention, and heart disease runs in our family, my family as well. Every 33 seconds, an American succumbs to heart disease. So during our interview time, 8 Americans will die of heart disease. Now, this doesn't have to happen because 80% or more of heart-related events are preventable, and prevention begins with awareness of heart disease risk factors.
And what steps can we take to prevent heart disease?
Each and every one of us can take that first step. And that first step is awareness of risk factors. Today, we'll talk about 2 risk factors, the LDL cholesterol, that by lowering LDL, we can directly lower our heart-related risk. The other risk factor that most Americans are unlikely aware of is called lipoprotein (a) or Lp(a). This is genetically determined. It's present in 1 out of every 5 people worldwide. Lp(a) is a powerful heart-related risk factor. Now, the good news is that through a simple blood test, we can be aware of our LDL and our Lp(a), and awareness is the first step translating to action. And action begins when we speak with our physician or clinical team and begin a plan for heart disease prevention. The earlier we start that plan, the greater the difference we can make for ourselves and often for our families.
And Catherine, can you tell us how your foundation helps families at risk for heart disease?
Well, the Family Heart Foundation is working to address the number one issue, which is lack of understanding by the American lay public about whether or not they have high LDL cholesterol and what they can do about it, and the lack of screening that we know takes place around Lp(a). Lp(a) and LDL cholesterol are not normally screened together, but we're trying to make sure that every American has the opportunity to understand their risk. So I'm very excited. We've launched a program called Cholesterol Connect, where people can order a free test, a simple blood test. They can take it home and they'll get the results of their LDL cholesterol and their lipoprotein(a). And then they can also get free support from the Family Heart Foundation to understand what their next steps might be and to have a productive conversation with their medical team.
And Catherine, can you share your story and how it inspired you to start this foundation?
I had a heart attack at the age of 39. And what I discovered later was that I have 2 genetic conditions. I have one called familial hypercholesterolemia, which causes very high LDL cholesterol from birth, and the other, which is elevated lipoprotein(a), which, as Dr. Sperling said, is primarily genetically determined. So I had been building up this level of risk and disease since the beginning of my life. And we know that most people who have these conditions are unaware until the first sign or symptom is a heart attack or a stroke. And it's my personal mission and the work of the Family Heart Foundation to help others to avoid having cardiovascular disease.
And where can we go to learn more?
So people can go to familyheart.org to learn about genetic causes of cardiovascular disease. And if they'd like to take advantage of this initiative that we're offering free screening and free support, they can go to cholesterolconnect.org.
Thanks you two for joining us today.
Thank you.
Overactive bladder, or OAB, is a condition that affects millions of Americans, often disrupting their lives in ways they never really expected. Despite how common it is, many people just wait years before seeking any form of help. So joining us today to share her personal story and raise a little bit of awareness is actress and advocate Holly Robinson Peete. Welcome to the show, Holly. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you've had such an amazing career, both as an actress and an advocate. What have you been up to doing lately?
Oh, well, I've been experiencing life as an empty nester. I got 4 adult kids, but they never really leave the nest. You know, they're kind of always flying in and flying out. So that's been interesting. My husband and I are traveling a lot, you know, trying to enjoy the empty nester life. We're also hosting a show right now called Queen's Court. It's on Peacock and Bravo. It's a dating show. That's been really fun, co-hosting with him. And then today I'm talking about OAB, overactive bladder, which is something that I discovered that I was diagnosed with a few years ago, and trying to spread some awareness about it.
When you kind of started first noticing some of the symptoms, how did it like affect your daily life? And when did you start realizing there's something wrong here?
Well, a few years ago, almost 4 years ago now, I noticed I was having to go, and I mean having to go to the bathroom very, very urgently and frequently, and having leakage episodes, all this. So I'm thinking, okay, well, girl, you're a certain age, so this is just what comes with aging. But it turns out that these symptoms were super chronic, and they just really were getting in the way of my life. I like to travel. I like to, I'm on sets. I do a lot of Christmas movies. I'm wearing layers of clothes. I was always having to go to the bathroom. And the ADs on the set were calling me 10-1, had given me this nickname, which 10-1 is code for your actor has gone to the bathroom. And they're like, this girl is 10-1 again. So I was just noticing that it was, nonstop. I wasn't going to concerts. I wasn't, when I fly, I was I like to sit in window seats, but I was sitting in aisle seats because I was trying to get to the bathroom all the time. And basically bathroom mapping had become my life. And this was really stressing me out. I talked to a bunch of girlfriends, and they started telling me, you might have something called OAB, which one of my girlfriends had. You need to talk to your doctor. That's how I began on this journey.
So how did you begin that conversation with your doctor?
Whew. Well, first of all, I was really embarrassed to talk about it because it's not the cutest thing to chat about. But I realized once I started telling him about what I was experiencing and how my life had changed because of this having to go all the time, he recommended for me to try Gemtesa, which is a prescription treatment. And he told me that there could be some serious side effects like urinary retention or allergic reaction, swelling of the lips or face, maybe more common side effects like headache, UTI, sore throat, runny nose, diarrhea, nausea. He told me all of that, but then he told me that actually that Gemtesa could be a really good fit for me. And since taking Gemtesa, I've noticed an improvement in my OAB symptoms. And that has been a real relief for me.
So what are some of the questions that you should ask your doctor if you're feeling that someone at home maybe experienced some of these symptoms and maybe starting this conversation?
Just be open and honest about what's going on. Don't be embarrassed about it. These doctors have heard everything. You're not going to freak them out, or they're not going to judge you. But just be open and honest about what you're experiencing and what's happening in your lifestyle. And, OAB, as you said at the top of this, impacts approximately 33 million adults in the U.S. So this is a pretty common thing. And so just go in open-minded, ask all the questions, tell all your stories, and share your experiences so that you can find the right treatment for you. And also make sure you check out timetogo.com. It's a great website where you can also meet other people. We call them Gemtesa go-getters in this community, people that got to go just like me. and you learn about, sort of what the OAB community looks like. And, you might be part of this community.
Holly Robinson Peete, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can people go for more information, maybe learn how to manage their own OAB if they haven't?
Yeah, definitely go to timetogo.com, check it out, and spread the word. And again, don't be afraid to have that conversation with your doctor.
Holly Robinson Peete, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Age-related macular degeneration, particularly an advanced form known as geographic atrophy. It affects millions of Americans and can lead to significant vision loss if left untreated. So joining us today to discuss this condition and share insights on managing it is Dr. Priya Vakharia, a highly regarded ophthalmologist. Dr. Vakharia, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Dr. Vakharia, what exactly is geographic atrophy, and what signs should people bring out or watch out for to catch it early?
So geographic atrophy is advanced dry macular degeneration. So it's when patients specifically with macular degeneration have areas of atrophy of the retina, meaning areas of the retina that stop working. Imagine the analogy of your backyard and having a bald spot in the backyard, and it's getting bigger over time. That's the same thing with geographic atrophy. And the symptoms to watch out for can be nonspecific in its early forms. Just generalized decreased vision, difficulty reading, difficulty with light and dark, or difficulty with colors, maybe some distortions. And then certainly in its advanced form, it can cause permanent vision loss.
Are there any specific factors that increase someone's risk of developing geographic atrophy?
The biggest risk factor is family history and aging. Certainly none of us can stop the aging factor, and your family history is your family history, but those are the biggest risk factors for developing dry macular degeneration and geographic atrophy. Modifiable risk factors include smoking and cardiovascular disease and obesity. So definitely important to try to stay healthy in that regards. But otherwise, this is unfortunately a condition that just happens as you get older, especially if you have a family history of it.
So how common is geographic atrophy, and is undiagnosed geographic atrophy something you counter often in your practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Geographic atrophy can really affect anyone. I do see a lot of it because I am a retina specialist, so I see a lot of patients referred in for this and for other conditions of the retina. But honestly, most geographic atrophy is probably out there and undiagnosed. We think about 70% of patients with GA have no idea that they have it. And so we're really here to bring that awareness to the condition so that patients are aware that if you're losing vision as you're getting older, that is not normal. If you're having a problem with your vision, go to get seen because you may have a condition like geographic atrophy.
And can you explain how Izervay works and the role it plays in helping adults with geographic atrophy kind of preserve their vision?
Yes, so Izervay is one of the treatments for geographic atrophy. We have some FDA-approved therapies, and I'm here on behalf of Astellas to highlight Izervay itself. Izervay is an intravitreal injection which is given into the eye by a retina specialist or eye care provider every month, and trials have shown that it decreases the rate of GA progression by about 18 to 35% at 1 year. Certainly not without risks. There are risks anytime you put a needle in the eye of infection and retinal detachment, and these drugs in general can increase the chance of wet macular degeneration or can cause transient elevations in your eye pressure. So again, important to talk to your eye care provider about these to see if you're a candidate for them.
So what advice would you give to somebody living with GA and help them better manage their condition?
It's really hard when you have GA and you're losing vision. The best piece of advice that I can give patients out there is to talk to your retina specialist about whether you're a candidate for these therapies. And for anyone who has a family member with macular degeneration, make sure you're getting your yearly eye exams and, staying on top of your eye care to screen for any eye-related conditions.
So where can our viewers go for more information about GA and maybe other treatments?
For more information, patients can go to izervay.com to learn more about Izervay and geographic atrophy.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And that is it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Just look up New Mexico Rising. Also, go to our website, newmexicorising.com. I got books from some of the authors we bring onto the show. We put them on there for free. All you got to do is pay for shipping, and there are limited quantities. So get those as quickly as you can. That's newmexicorising.com. Follow us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/NMRising. Make sure you like, comment, and share there. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.